Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. F. Carly's feelings. Okay? Her lashing out at Sunny was completely and utterly out of pocket because, let's be honest, she is partly responsible for Drew being in jail in the first place, okay? Drew and Michael told her grown ass not to sit there and go through with the information that was given to her. And I'm not saying that Drew shouldn't be accountable for his actions as far as why he's in there. But let's not sit there and try to act like Carly didn't actually have anything to do with that. So if you want to sit there and, she wants to sit there and start blaming people, she shouldn't be sitting there blaming Sonny. She should be sitting there blaming herself. On top of that, Drew's a big boy, okay? He thought that he can sit there and handle it. He said yes to it. So what happens, happens. And finally, Sonny's not God, okay? That's a promise no one could really sit there and make. That he could sit there and protect Drew 24/7. No one can make that promise. I mean, let's be honest. He couldn't sit there and protect Spencer. He couldn't sit there and protect Michael. So what makes you think that he was going to be doing that much of a good job protecting Drew? So yeah, and I get that she's all in her feelings because she's worried and everything like that, but I don't care. I really don't. And then after she talks to Liz and the doctor, or maybe before the doctor, she winds up demanding to sit there and see Ava. And I'm like, boo, you can sit there and lash out at all the other people you want, but at the end of the day, this comes down to you and Drew. Okay, this comes down to you and Drew. Point blank, period. So all the yelling and screaming and everything like that doesn't mean a damn thing. It really doesn't. So Jake, knowing that his mother's sitting there busy at work, decides to sit there and keep pestering her about the fact that he didn't want to get caught in a lie. He said he was going to sit there and meet a friend. And in reality, he was sitting there hanging out with Charlotte. And he was like, hey, I feel bad for lying and stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to. I was like, yeah, I get that, but she's at work. You couldn't have sat there and waited a little bit later on. Like, what did you think she was going to do? Ground you? Like, how old are you? I didn't really understand that the urgency to sit there and tell her, to sit there and just be that nagging about it. I thought that he was going to sit there and be like, hey, Charlotte is into some wicked ish. I mean, this little girl's into playing with tarot cards and voodoo. Listen, I gotta sit there and tell someone. That's what I thought he was going to sit there and say. Instead, he was just like, oh, I hung out with a girl. Yeah, I just, because she's a girl and um, feelings or something, I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, she's still got to get back to work because, she is technically supporting two kids at this point now. Don't know where the hell Lucky's at this point, but, whatever. It's amazing. When I was out there watching Lucky back in the day, he was always into wanting to be different from his dad. And in a lot of ways, he is just as much an absentee father, just like Luke. So is buying a new house supposed to sit there and fix Charlotte's problems? Because I feel like this girl still needs therapy. I mean, she is sitting there having nightmares about Anna taking her dad away, taking up all his time, always loving his affection, and being like, nope, your papa's all mine now. Yeah, he's not gonna have any time for you. But a new house is supposed to sit there and fix that. You're joking, right? I mean, seriously, like you can't, you cannot sit there and tell me that this is supposed to be a band-aid to fix her abandonment issues, where she needs to be working that out with Kevin Collins at this point, or whatever therapist that they actually have on staff at this point. Because don't get me wrong, it's a nice house, okay, it's nice, but that's not actually going to do anything. Portia and Anna. Anna sees Portia. Anna starts to walk away, and Portia's like, "Hold up." Me personally, if I was Anna, I just would have kept going because I'm just like, I'm not getting in round two with you. And don't get me wrong, I understood her anger, right? I got that. But even in the beginning, almost seemed like it was kind of like a slow walk back, like she was somewhat apologizing. But I did understand where she was coming from. It took a while for her to get there, which was really annoying. But she did want to apologize for the way that she handled things. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't change the outcome of Curtis being in the hospital because of Anna and Sonny's life choices, right? But she was like, she could have handled that in a better way. And as much as I do not like Portia, and I really do not like Portia, oh my god, I do not like this woman. I felt like that was probably the best of a bad situation. Um, and in a lot of ways, it does show a certain level of maturity. So I give her a props for that. Now, her working with Esme because she doesn't like Spencer that much, that's an entirely separate issue I have with her. But just as far as her getting along and talking things out or whatever with Anna, given the situation that her husband's in, I gotta sit there and say that shows a lot of restraint. So begrudgingly, I give her some points for that. So, as I said before, and I have not changed my mind about this, I still do not give two ish about this Saga storyline. I really don't. I probably would, yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I probably would have cared about it a little bit more. Maybe if the original actresses were there, but I probably wouldn't have cared about it that much more because the way that they're writing Molly. Just gonna be wrong. Because even Haley couldn't have been able to really save this. Just the rewrite that they have going on. But Alexis comes over to Christina, at her bar or whatever, and tells her about the whole surrogacy thing, and Christina's hurt by that because she's like, yo, she couldn't even sit there and tell me. She had to sit there and have a go between. And let me guess, was it her idea to sit there and give me this information, or was it somebody else's? And Alexa's like, well, try not to sit there and take it, try not to sit there and take it to heart. And, she just wants to do this and do that. I was like, I get you trying to mediate the situation, but that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's hurtful. That's hurtful. So she had every right to sit there and feel hurt about this, and she wanted to try to fix it. Alexa's like, this is a bad idea. Just give her some time. I'm like, you know what? Listen, it takes two. Okay. Um, because Christina's like, I feel like I'm losing my sister and stuff like that. I'm like, well, then that's also on her as well. People do drift apart, but it takes two to let that happen. Um, I don't know. I guess for me personally, I'm a person that has zero F's about cutting someone off. Like, I really do. I can be extremely detached. And if I had a brother that was not there doing something like that, or even a sister that was doing something like that, I'm like, okay, you know what? You stay over there. I'm gonna stay over here. When you learn how to act right, I'll be here. But until then, I'm not sitting there chasing after your ass. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, my viewpoint is a little bit different. Blaze signed with Brooklyn because of, the fact that Brooklyn was sitting there sticking up for her from that scumbag link. And of course, this they're reading a really, I guess, hit piece or whatever on Brooklyn and pretty much how she um, got fired from Deception and just really kind of screwed over the company and calling her a princess, this, that, and the third. Then they said something about slashing her voice. It was some sort of comment as far as slashing her voice, and I was like, the other stuff I was like, all right, I can sit there and say, okay, that was bad or whatever, but like that was like, all right, that was kind of a low blow at that point. Like, unfortunately, that is what usually winds up happening with people sometimes. People will sit there and write the nastiest articles, or they will sit there and write something um for clicks and views. Not clicks and views. It's more of shock value. They did that specifically for shock value. You can tell that they cared more about selling papers or an article or whatever than they really did. It's like there was no soul in it. That's just how it is sometimes in entertainment. I mean, to make a comment or to make some sort of a joke or whatever about her being attacked, like, wow, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Now Nina does get a call from Dex. They go into the hospital, because she found out about Drew, and she felt bad or whatever. She gets down there, and Carly gets up in her face talking about, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Carly, you don't own this rest. I'm like, you don't own this hospital. What are you doing, yo?" I mean, I get it. She's kind of emotional and stuff like that, but I'm like, you can take it a couple notches down. Like, you don't own this place. Like, who are you to be sent to ask me, like, what are you doing here? Like, well, when you start paying bills, you can sit there and start checking as many people as you want. She goes over there to sit there and see how Drew is doing. Because, yeah, she has a heart. Okay? She's not this soulless monster. She does, well, I mean, I would sit there and call her a dingbat every day of the week, but she's not a heartless monster. Um, what else happened in this episode? Anna and Sunny talk about, did they regret the choices that they made? And I'm kind of just like, this is it's a little too late to be sitting there having these discussions. Like, do you feel regrets? Like, and if you do, then what? Like, nothing's going to change. Okay, the stuff that you did back then, the people that you hurt, the way that you affected these people's lives, is not going to change by having some sort of so-called philosophical conversation about. Did you ever sit there and wonder if we ever made the right choices, or some line that they sat there and said, and like, why are we doing this for? Oh, and I think I did sit there and say this. Molly told TJ and Curtis about the fact that the surrogate is pregnant. For anyone that actually cares about this stupid story. Anyway, I feel like for the most part, I'm actually think that's pretty much about it. Now, as always, if I did miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the soaps. YNR, Days, GH, and BNB. And with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.